Hello to those listening. This is an orator here with the freeze of speech. And this time, I would like to talk about a conversation I had with an associate of mine. And they were telling me how good and beneficial social justice classes were and diversity courses in college. Now, my opinion on this is it's bullshit, but they were trying to tell me that it's about teaching people about other cultures and people and things of that nature. And I always thought that's what history class was about, and was more effective at it because it put things in a historical context instead of just giving you information and allowing you to try to put it into today's standards, what people in the past would do. Now, the thing that kind of really makes me truly wonder why the person does it, why a person would think this way, that is a good thing. Because when I actually look at this course, I look at it like this. You start off with a group of people, one group. Then you divide them by gender. So you split the group into two, male and female, or three or four, depending on if you believe in things like transgender is a new gender, which it isn't. You're just going from one to another, or a gender means something. So you can split the group into from two, between two and hell six. But next thing you do is you separate the group by race. So if you have white people, black people, Latino, Asians, some Europeans, some Africans, maybe Australians, hell, even Russians. Now you've done is separate the group some more. So now I've taken a group of one, separated into between two and hell six. Now I've separated that two and six by another six. And then once I've separated them by race, next thing you do is separate them by religion. So you have Catholic, Protestant, which includes anything that's not Catholic, Jewish, Islamic, Buddhist. Now I've taken the original group of one, separated them by gender, then I separated them by race, now I'm separating them by religion. So I went from one to two, between two and six. Then I went from between, now I take the two and six and then separated between three and hell seven. And now I'm separating it again. Now I'm separating the small groups of seven by another seven. Well, yeah, there's pretty much seven. Okay, let's just. I'm just going to hold the main three religions, the most dominant ones, which would be which would be Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and Buddhist. So by another four. And then once I'm done with that, I'm separating them again by economics. So now I'm separating them, those groups again by three. You have your very wealthy, you have your middle class, and you have your poor. And when I said this to this person, I pretty much just used minimum number said. So I took the one, and then I said male and female, which separates it by two. Then again with the race, I used the main three. So I went from two to six. Then I used the main four religions. So I went from six to ten, and then I just used the three economics, and then took the 10 to pretty much 13 more groups. So I asked the person, how does this make diversity? It seems to me that all you're doing is separating everybody by a specific category, and now you want to then now you want to put them on a list saying you're at the top, you're at the bottom. That seems to be the opposite of diversity. That is not understanding anyone. That is literally labeling people. That's how racism works. You separate people and say you are better for some arbitrary reason, and these people are worse for this arbitrary reason. But I don't like to come when I look at and examine things like this without some type of way I think it could be done in a more effective manner. So if you're looking at a college course, eliminate that social justice crap because it's not really doing anything. If you want to promote diversity, take into account that people will naturally segregate themselves. People will only hang out with the people that are like them. Every college professor can put together a program to actually have people do class work projects. Now you may be saying, I don't really see how this really helps. But it really does when you think about it. Because if the teacher puts together groups, in a sense, let's say randomly, people aren't going to do the natural thing of going with their friends. They're going to be stuck dealing with people that they normally wouldn't deal with. This is a skill that's beneficial, not just at school, but it's beneficial in the workplace, because once you learn to deal with other people who are not people you want to be around, that's something that happens at work. I don't know too many people who really just say, I really do love the people I work with, unless you work for family. So you gain the skill whether the link up is good or bad. Especially if it's bad, it's even better, because you learn to deal with people you would normally not deal with. And if it's good, you still gain the benefit of dealing and working as a team. And then I would say the second thing I would come up with beyond, after the teachers do this, and then the second thing is make things like history like a core curriculum. Now you may say that, well, history doesn't have the same impact as maybe your hardcore skills like your maths and sciences, but history has the ability to enhance people's thought process. It was like I was saying before, that these social justice classes do not actually do. They do not put things in proper historical context. If you're giving people historical information and they're learning to put things in specific context, this is also something that is a skill that is good later on in life. Because then when you get put into a position where you think you're being unfairly treated, it gives you the ability to stop back and think, am I being mistreated, or am I being overly sensitive? This is what I see as a boon to learning history. You learn to put things in context. And these are my thoughts on this situation of social justice courses in college, and pretty much how I conclude the conversation. The associate of mine I was talking with pretty much shut down after that because they really had nothing else to say. So if you listen to this and you think I may be incorrect, or maybe that my plans wouldn't work, or maybe that this person just lacked the ability to properly defend it, I would like to hear from you. And this was an orator here with the freest of speech. Thanks for listening.